No one likes us, right? So everyone in our locker room, that's the only type of people that we have that we can lean on, and we got to be better.
When Sophie Cunningham stepped to the mic after yet another painful Indiana Fever loss, no one expected what came next. No clichés. No polished PR lines. Just raw, unfiltered truth. A bombshell confession that sent shockwaves through the WNBA. "We have our own islands," she said, her voice steady but weary. With those 5 words, the glossy illusion of a united locker room shattered. And in that moment, it became crystal clear. Caitlin Clark, the biggest name in women's basketball, isn't just battling opponents on the court. She's fighting a silent war behind the scenes, and she's fighting it alone. For weeks, fans have felt something off about this Fever squad. The chemistry wasn't clicking. The protection on the court was non-existent. The body language, the collapses, the silence after Clark took hits, it all pointed to something deeper than missed plays or growing pains. But now, thanks to Sophie's honesty, we have confirmation.
So in 2024, she averaged 16.5 points per game, 4 assists, 5.5 rebounds. She shot.
The locker room is fractured. Trust is gone. The very culture meant to uplift and protect their generational star is in complete disarray. Clark wasn't just brought to Indiana to play ball. She was supposed to revitalize the franchise, reignite fan passion, and lead a new WNBA era. Instead, she's surrounded by dysfunction. The Fever didn't give her a team, they gave her chaos. And Sophie, to her credit, didn't dodge it. She admitted it plainly. Players are drifting on their own islands. There's no connection, no cohesion, no fight for each other. The silence after Clark takes hits? It's not an accident. It's a symptom. Sophie even took accountability, saying she needs to do more. But it's not about one player doing more. It's about a system that's failed entirely. A star like Caitlin Clark, who draws more eyes to the league than anyone else, is being left unprotected, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
37% from the field and 31.8% from 3. Now, if you look at her preseason in 2025, she only...
Every time she gets blindsided on the court and no teammate rushes in, it's not just bad basketball. It's betrayal. And it's happening game after game. The team that should be built to amplify her brilliance instead looks like it's crumbling under its own weight. Remember when Clark was drafted? The hype was unmatched. This was supposed to be the rebuild, the rebirth. But now, Sophie says it herself. Even when they were losing last year, there was unity. There was heart. Now, that's gone. And Caitlin is expected to patch over the cracks, lead the team, and absorb the hits while the rest of the locker room barely flinches. And we can't talk about this implosion without bringing up DeWanna Bonner. When the Fever signed her to a max contract, fans were confused. When she abruptly exited the team, insiders were stunned. But now, it all makes sense. Bonner wasn't just missing shots. She was reportedly at the center of one of the splinters in the locker room. A Bonner camp, one analyst called it. And with her departure, it's clear that her presence may have done more to divide than lead.
Played 2 games in this preseason, and 1 was against that Brazilian national team.
Then there's Natasha Howard. The player fans say symbolizes everything wrong with the Fever right now. Whether it's her body language, her lack of urgency, or the surreal moment when she showed more concern for an opponent's twisted ankle than for Clark getting decked mid-play, Howard's actions, or lack thereof, speak volumes. And yet, she continues to log heavy minutes. Why? Many point to her ties with head coach Stephanie White, who once coached Howard in Indiana. This isn't meritocracy. It's favoritism. And it's rotting the team from the inside out. Fans have noticed. Social media is ablaze. Analysts are drawing up literal maps of locker room factions. Caitlin, Lexi Hull, and Sophie on one island, Howard, Coulson, and Turner on another. Aaliyah Boston and Dantas, stranded in no man's land, unsure of where to stand. What began as basketball chemistry issues now teeters on something darker, whispers of racial division, social media cliques, and veteran entitlement eating away at the foundation of what should have been a dynasty in the making. But none of this happens in a vacuum. This is the result of front office negligence. Amber Cox and Kelly Krauskopf, once praised for landing Caitlin Clark, are now being slammed online for the circus they've overseen.
She played 21 minutes. She averaged 14.5 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds.
The Fever didn't scout speed, shooters, or defenders to complement Clark's style. They didn't protect their star with gritty, loyal teammates. Instead, they signed aging names and leaned on nostalgia and optics. And what did it get them? Locker room war zones. Fourth quarter collapses. And a superstar who looks more isolated with each passing game. Even coach Stephanie White isn't safe from the fire. She was handed the keys to the Ferrari, Caitlin Clark, and somehow decided to drive it through a swamp. Her offense is slow, outdated, and suffocating to Clark's natural brilliance. Instead of spacing the floor and letting Clark create like she did at Iowa, White's system leaves her stranded at the arc, passing the ball, then watching as her teammates brick contested shots with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. It's not just bad coaching. It's malpractice. Meanwhile, Clark takes brutal hits, elbows, blindsides, hip checks, and the only ones reacting are the fans screaming from their couches. Her teammates, silent, unmoving. The level of indifference is staggering. Natasha Howard staring at the court while Caitlin clutches her ribs should have been the last straw.
Bounds, she shot 52.5% from the field and 50% from three-point range.
But instead, nothing changed. And the coach just keeps rolling the same tired rotations, hoping for a miracle. Despite this, Caitlin Clark keeps showing up. She leads the WNBA in assists. She's setting viewership records. She's handling every cheap shot and every snub with professionalism and poise. She competes every night, often carrying the fever through sheer willpower. And still, the system around her crumbles. But even the strongest players break under weight they were never meant to carry alone. This was supposed to be a new era. Caitlin Clark was the rising tide that could lift all ships, the face of a new generation, someone capable of putting women's basketball on a global stage. The Fever had one job: protect the spark. Instead, they dumped gasoline on dysfunction and handed her a match. And now, thanks to Sophie Cunningham, the truth is out. This isn't just a losing streak. It's a cultural implosion. A franchise gutting itself in front of the world. And if something doesn't change fast, it won't just be a season lost. It'll be the legacy of Caitlin Clark, wasted by a team that didn't know what it had. So here's the question: who's going to step up? Because Caitlin's doing her part.
Rock and the Hard Place Island. Rock and the Hard Place Island. They know what it takes to win. Now they catch.
She's doing everyone's part. But she didn't come here to babysit egos, babysit dysfunction, or be the band-aid for a broken locker room. She came here to win. If you still believe in Caitlin Clark, if you still know she deserves better, say it loudly. Let the Fever, the front office, and the entire league hear you. She's not just the Rookie of the Year. She's the future of the WNBA. And that future deserves a team that fights for her the way she fights for the game. Comment below, defend Caitlin Clark, and let your voice be part of the fix, not just another echo in the disaster. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this story, it's far from over.